Everything you just saw was created with one command in a single Claude chat, because Higgsfield MCP just made generating real estate walkthroughs, or anything else for that matter, easier than ever. So here's how to compare the best AI video models at once, see the stats beforehand, and get the best output. And it all starts with opening up Claude, and you're going to navigate down to your settings panel and open up connectors. Now, we already have this connected, but what you're going to do is go to Add and Browse Connectors. Then you're just going to type in Higgsfield and it'll pop right up for you, and you select it and make sure to enter in this connector URL. This is the endpoint for the MCP. And to verify, you're going to click into your connectors and connect using your Google account to Higgsfield and allow it. And when it's connected, you'll see that there's a check mark. Then you're going to go to Customize, and we're going to add a skill. And you can make your own skill, but I'll show you how to upload first. This is ours for the real estate walkthrough. So the skill that we're using is going to generate a real estate fly-through using the Higgsfield MCP and the latest models. So it starts with step 0, where it confirms that it has the Higgsfield MCP connected. In step 1, it's going to take this prompt, either what the user gave it, or it'll use this reference here. Then in step 2, depending on whether or not the user has provided their own image, it's either going to use theirs or it will generate one of its own using Nano Banana Pro, GPT Image 2, or Seed Dream. Then in step 3, it's going to pick the model comparison set. So it's going to check against what Higgsfield actually has, and then it's going to list out the specific model names that it's going to run through. Then in step 4, it checks the costs. And this is one of the most important parts. Before actually firing off the real jobs and spending the tokens, it's going to get the actual cost so you know exactly how much it's going to take. Then after it's confirmed what it wants to do, you're going to click generate, and it's going to make all of these videos and put them in a gallery to present to you at the end, and you'll be able to choose the best one. And something to note here, if you don't have your own skill, you can just create it with Claude by opening up a chat window here, and you'll be able to upload it yourself. So the possibilities really are limitless here, but let's try this out. We're going to go into this chat, and first we're going to choose the skill that we're going to use. And what you can do is paste your prompt right below it. This is going to dictate the camera and the lighting, that it has to be photorealistic, as well as if there's any audio available, and the duration. We're going to submit it, and it's going to ask us step by step what we want to do. First, it's going to ask what kind of interior property should this fly-through show. We're going to choose a beachfront living room. And something cool is that it's going to ask whether or not it should have an empty room that becomes populated, or if it should be fully furnished. But for the sake of this video, let's see how it does with populating to check which model is best at generating most realistically. And now it's confirming all of these details that we just passed in, and we're going to allow it explicitly so that it doesn't just spend beforehand. And now, since we didn't enter in our own reference image, it's going to ask us if it can make its own image with Nano Banana using this prompt here, and we're going to allow it. So now that it's generating a Nano Banana image, you can see what we have here. This is completely empty, and we're going to just tell it to continue here. So now it's already reported to us what it wants to do, and now it needs to make a report as to how much this is going to cost before we actually go through with it. That's one of the most important parts. And something interesting is that it found that there is no Sora model, so instead it's going to ask us which to replace. We'll choose Grok Video 1.5, but this is just to show you that you don't need to know exactly what's on Higgsfield. The MCP will figure it out for you, and that's part of the magic. Next, we're going to see this report on exactly what it's going to produce with the duration, resolution, and audio model by model, and we can confirm that and continue as it generates each one. And now we have the report. This tells us exactly what we're looking at in terms of credits, 182.9 in total, model by model. We can see here that the most expensive is actually VO 3.1. So You can keep this in mind when you watch the outputs to see which is best and how much it costs in comparison to the others. It's quite important. But this is a nice little touch that Higgsfield MCP actually holds your hand and walks you through exactly what you're looking at before it happens. Now we're going to continue, and it's going to take each one of these prompts and give it to each one of the video models and process them. And it's not just going to leave us hanging and guessing whether or not it's still working. Something that's really cool is that it's going to update us as each one is done, and even as it waits as to the specific progress of each job. And you'll even be able to view some of them beforehand, but let's just wait and see until they all come out and watch them side by side. And VO 3.1 is generally the one that takes the longest. And here are all 5 of our generations with the final report, which says that Kling V3 was actually the cheapest and fastest, whereas VO 3.1 was the most expensive and took the longest. So you can dig into the details and figure out what works best for you and your project. And so let's check out the actual visuals compared side by side here. So let's watch the first one. This is Kling 3.0. Looks pretty impressive. Now let's check out Seed Dance 2.0. Looks slightly less realistic. Then Google VO 3.1 has a walkthrough of the unit, which is a nice touch. Let's see what WAN 2.6 has. Looks a bit more realistic. And finally, Grok Imagine 1.5. I like the spin around inside of the space. And of course, you can write in the chat here to update or tweak any of these videos as you wish. But what we're going to do here is see what other models can we use. Are these really the best models? Let's have Higgsfield figure this out for us by checking its own MCP and then reporting back which are the very best. This is completely blind, so I'm just going to tell this, yes, run me 5 more of the models I didn't run previously to test them. And it's going to pick up the remaining models for us to compare by itself, so we don't have to do any thinking here. And what's really great with this is that not only do you not need any type of programming chops to be able to put this together, but also you can just tell Higgsfield to iterate through different models that you haven't used yet, and you'll be able to get these really nice layouts of how much it's going to cost, how long they go, all of the different stats, and the total budget. And it will ask you to confirm before proceeding so that it never just runs through your tokens. And then you'll be able to easily compare these side by side. This is something that would normally be a tedious process, going from website to website, testing out model to model. But with Higgsfield MCP, puts everything in one place, and you don't even really need to know what you're doing. You just ask for what you want. In this case, we didn't even provide any of the prompts for these additional videos, but it's making them one by one as it goes. Each one is different. So we'll be able to compare based on the same starting point. Which one of these remaining models do we prefer? And again, it walks you through as each model finishes and gives you these updates even while waiting. It's a nice touch to keep you in the loop, but you can walk away and you can let this run in the background generally and come back once it's all finished. And here is the entire gallery and the report, which shows that Cinema Studio Video 3.0 is the most expensive, with Kling 2.6 and Minimax High-Law 2.3 being the cheapest. So in terms of sound, it seems like there's no audio on Minimax, but the rest of these do have audio. So we'll start with Cinema Studio Video 3.0. I like the way that these pop up out of the ground. And WAN 2.7, a little bit unrealistic, the way that it shifts in between. Let's check Kling 2.6. Also not so realistic, not so bad. Let's check out Minimax High-Law. I like the pan, but it doesn't seem to generate very realistically. And finally, Flux 3 Video. I like that. It looks very realistic the way it just pops into place. And that's how you use Higgsfield to level up your video generation. So click the link below and try it out today to see what you can create. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more on the latest in AI and robotics news. And thanks for watching.